Honolulu Airport is world famous for the novel way in which it welcomes its visitors. A sweetly scented floral chain is placed around the neck of those who arrive here, and the friendly smiles of the local people are irresistible. Normal routine is cast aside, and here, dreams become reality. Aloha! Welcome to the holiday paradise of Hawaii. The Hawaiian Islands are located in the Pacific Ocean, and they are the 50th state of the United States of America. The island of Oahu is situated in the center of the archipelago. The modern city of Honolulu is the capital of Oahu and all the other islands, and it's also the starting point of numerous excursions. Today, the Manhattan of the Pacific is a large city that covers a huge area from the sea and high into the mountains. Its name means sheltered bay. This long and sheltered section of the coast was also discovered by Captain Cook, trader and whale hunter. His crew landed here and took on board fresh water and fruit. The contrasts of this metropolis surprise everyone. Shining office towers next to tropical landscape, and the legendary sandy beach of Waikiki. The city centre contains green areas, palm trees, and well-preserved old buildings. In 1840, King Kamehameha, who unified the Hawaiian Islands, moved here from Maui. This statue is an image of John Baker, and although the king was an extraordinary statesman, his idea of beauty was somewhat unconventional. Later, King David Kalakaua had the Iolani Palace built, a magnificent Victorian structure situated in the centre of Honolulu. It's the only royal palace in the USA. This splendid building was the first in Honolulu to be fitted with electric light. Today, it contains a museum with very strange opening hours. Renovation of the Victorian-style palace, with its two-story high facades, took place during recent times and cost almost $6 million. A large, well-laid-out park with grass and palm trees surrounds the Iolani Palace, a green island of tranquility amid the city's many skyscrapers. This was also the setting of the removal of Hawaii's last female monarch, Queen Liliuokalani, and royalists demonstrate here frequently to demand an independent state. There are a number of fascinating houses in the historic old town, but the modern glass palaces in the background dominate everything. Constant immigration has given rise to the peaceful coexistence of various cultures. The Aloha Tower was built in 1926, and at a height of 56 meters, for several years was the tallest building in Hawaii. This tower once greeted those who arrived by passenger ship alongside Pier 7 in the huge harbour. Although today's busy downtown skyscrapers look down on the harbour, there's still a beautiful view of the surrounding area. Today it's very peaceful here, because most visitors to Hawaii travel to the volcanic island by air. Right next to the Aloha Tower is a museum that is extremely popular with the local inhabitants. The Maritime Museum focuses on the history of sea travel. A special exhibit is the ship Falls of Clyde. This passenger ship was built in England in 1878 and travelled between San Francisco and Honolulu. With a little imagination, it's possible to hear the old ship's bell ringing out as it waits to leave the harbour. Within the modern museum, there is the skeleton of a huge whale, suspended from the ceiling, and looks as though it's swimming through the air. One exhibit is the double-hulled Polynesian sailing boat, the Hokolia, that in 1976 successfully demonstrated that it could make the 620-mile return journey to Tahiti. There's also scenes that depict the former life of the harbour workers, and illustrations that feature the customary warm welcome given to foreigners. Another exhibit is the four-mast Falls of Clyde. This passenger ship was built in England in 1878 and sailed between San Francisco and Honolulu. The converted tourist buses that transport visitors through the old town look like nostalgic trams. As elsewhere in Honolulu, the car has replaced most other means of transport, and modern highways lead into the city's various suburbs and beyond. And into the Northern Hill area, where visitors encounter tropical nature. Extending over a hill, Nuuanu Pali Park is more than just a tourist attraction. The Nuuanu Pali Valley is of great importance in Hawaiian history. It was here that a decisive battle took place when King Kamehameha arrived from Maui and triumphantly drove the troops of the Oahu chief into the mountains. This battle gave rise to the political union of the Hawaiian Islands. When the defenders of Oahu saw that they had no chance against their foe, they threw themselves into the sea rather than be dominated by their enemy. The island of Oahu occupies around 1/3 of the entire surface area of the Hawaiian Islands and is for many visitors synonymous with Hawaii. An island of contrasts. In the south, the crowded centre of Honolulu. In the north, volcanic mountains and picturesque coastlines. Blue sea, paradise-like beaches, and the wonderful climate of the Pacific all combine to create a unique holiday paradise. Following a fascinating drive along the coastal road, we eventually arrive at a destination that's very popular with those who stay on the island. The Polynesian Cultural Centre. It provides a fascinating insight into the history of Hawaii. Once again, we are greeted by a wonderful smiling face, and islanders who demonstrate the many ways in which palm leaves can be put to practical use. While strolling through the museum's villages, the local people explain their history, culture, and daily lives. Now and then, we are treated to a variety of traditional songs. Others perform ancient tribal dances, armed with spears and wearing straw skirts, the long-held traditions of a colourful culture. The Polynesian Cultural Centre also features various regions of the South Seas: Tahiti, Tonga, Samoa, Aotearoa, Fiji and Marquesas. Prior to visiting the next attraction, numerous replicas of natural landscapes, such as waterfalls and rivers, intrigue those who come here. Standing around a small dance floor, spectators wait for the next performers, while a blossom from Hawaii adds to the exotic atmosphere. Next, a dance that describes the oldest story of mankind: two men fighting over a woman. The prince dances urgently and provocatively. Pretty girls manage to calm down the tense situation with a dance. Splendid arts and crafts from various regions are exhibited within numerous huts. But when the sun goes down, the highlight of the evening is announced: a spectacular show inside a huge building. These exciting performances highlight the traditional dances of the South Seas. The costumes and hairstyles are also of traditional design. Over 100 people from various regions take part in this event that is an adventure for both eyes and ears. Colourful and attractive costumes have preserved traditions of the past, and the spirits of old Polynesia come alive in rhythm and dance. Next, the chief appears. The excitement of both male and female dancers suddenly explodes, and the sight of their obvious joie de vivre is contagious. A young couple dressed completely in white perform a love dance, with feathered hats and shaking hips. Now the performance is really underway. A large dance group simultaneously roll their hips, followed by a variety of acrobatics in true and exciting Hawaiian style. In most cultures, fire has always played an important role, and the fire dancer here is no exception. Within the darkened room, fire eaters move with torches blazing. This performance of the island's tradition provides a colourful insight into the culture of this region and ends in a memorable climax. A museum commemorates the events of the 7th of December 1941. The famous Pearl Harbor near Honolulu was the scene of a major military tragedy. During an unexpected attack, practically the whole of the American Pacific Fleet was bombed by the Japanese and destroyed. The attack on the US naval base was the ultimate reason that the United States eventually took part in the Second World War. Just before 8 o'clock, without warning, Japanese aircraft and mini-submarines attacked the 130 ships that lay at anchor in the harbour. The giant warship, the USS Arizona, sank with 1,100 soldiers on board. Memorial plaques that bear the names of the dead serve as a reminder of that terrible day. Here, sadness unites with the pride of a great nation. Today, the harbour is a national park. The museum's ferryboats transport visitors to the USS Arizona Memorial, a white monument above the hull of the submerged battleship. Close by is the Second World War Submarine Museum. This covers the history of military submarines and underwater warfare. In addition to the Japanese one-man submarine, the Kaiten, the USS Bowfin can also be visited, an old, out-of-service American submarine. The boarding of a submarine turns out to be an unexpected adventure. Narrow and low corridors, and everywhere controls, wheels and pipes. Also, mobile anti-aircraft cannon from the final days of the war can be observed at close quarters. And the Tomahawk cruise missile, a more recent development, a missile and underwater torpedo. Thus, the history of Pearl Harbor has now transformed into a tourist attraction. In the fertile highlands, we visit the Dole pineapple plantation. In 1899, James Dole began to grow pineapples on a grand scale, and in 1906, the first canning factory was built here. Also, coffee plants thrive in the lush red soil. In winter, the most expert surfers collect on Sunset Beach. The world's most sought-after waves are here, some of which are as high as the tallest church steeples. Between Kawela Bay and Halewa, each winter the best surfers in the world meet for the Surfing World Championships, an incredible sight. A sandy beach in the sea, together with blue sky and white clouds. The perfect beach and much sought after waves. Even the youngest surfers can exploit the full power of the trade winds. In the summer months, the north coast is peaceful, with clear water and sandy bays, and the islanders fly their elaborate kites. From sunrise to sunset, the endless sandy beaches, steep cliffs and hidden bays are ideal for both sunbathing and surfing. A paradise at the end of the world. This enchanting island is full of fun, a veritable sea of dreams, along with the gentle sound of music beneath the palm trees. Aloha is Hawaii's magical word. It means welcome, goodbye, and also love. Life is so simple in paradise.